All right, now we have all these microservices. How do we use these? So let's um, let me let me start up my site in development. So if I go to let's see here, build AI telemetry nope Jupyter notebook, and I have some commands that I can run here to run my Java project. So I take these commands, copy them to the clipboard, and I'll close this and then paste these in here. And this will run our site. It connects to Zookeeper. It connects to the Keycloak in the database and then imports some data. So I think we're good to go. And let's find the link to this site here. Here it says is the link. So we open this link. And this is our AI telemetry site. Pretty cool. What we want to do now in this demo is create some GPU data. So here I click on GPU and it says, hey, you need to authenticate. So I click on GitHub and this is going to let me into the site. So I have here I have a GPU that's created. It's called Tower 1, and this is what it looks like. Now I want to show you what fine-grained access control with Keycloak is all about, because this is an important part of this project. So if I go to my Keycloak and authenticate as an admin, and then go to my realm NERC and go to my client NERC. We're going to use both of these clients. ESP32 is for my little smart device that I have that's going to send data from the edge to the cloud. But NERC is the one that we use in our application, AI Telemetry, to authenticate users. So if I go to authorization and permissions, you can see we manage all of our resources like GPUs and the access to them. And we have scopes to delete or get or patch or post objects. And we can grant clients or users access to access the data or to patch the data or to create the data with fine-grained resource permissions. So you can see here I have a client ESP32 for my smart device, and then I also have admin users and super admin users and permissions. So these permissions are all set. And so for my user, computate, if I go to my groups and you see that I'm a super admin, if I click leave and then come back to my site and refresh the page, it says forbidden, you can't see this GPU. So then I rejoin the group, super admin, and then I have access again. So that's a cool little way to do fine-grained resource permissions, access to your data. An example. So now we have GPU device details, and we can add a description, my computer at home, and then that gets updated. And then if I check the API, so the description is here, my computer at home. So that got updated. Now I want to add a new field. So I'm going to go back to my VS Code and do real software development in the cloud, like I was saying earlier. So we come here and let's go to my GPU notebook, and let me pull up a file called gpu.java. And what I want to add is a field called temperature. So if I search for temperature, it's not here right now. So let me go to this playbook, and in here, we're going to run this command to update our gpu.java file. But first, we need to get the code generation tools running. So let me open a new terminal. And let me see where this is. Build AI Telemetry. Okay, so I think if I go to AI Telemetry doc, getting started, OpenShift AI, and run this watch.sh, I think this will work. Okay, so first what it's going to do, it's going to index all of my code. And so this is reading all of my Java code and indexing it in a search engine. It sounds crazy, but because we do that, if I go to this command right here, this will query the Apache Solr search engine to find out how many Java classes, how many constructors, how many methods, how many fields, and how many generated fields are found. Oh, not in the SmartList platform, but in the AI Telemetry project. So let's try this out. So it says there are 62 Java classes, 8 constructors, 1,200 methods, 268 fields, 670 new generated fields, and they relate to AI clusters, AI nodes, AI projects, GPU devices, and GPUs, as you can see here. And that's why we index this data. Now, with this, we can generate a whole bunch of code behind the scenes. So we're just going to wait for a bit more for it to finish indexing all the data. And then we're going to add this field. Something it does is it actually indexes every Java class 3 times. And the reason for that is because sometimes you have a Java class that relates to another Java class, like as a foreign key relationship. And then that Java class, the first Java class gets indexed, the second Java class gets indexed, and then we re-index the original Java class one more time to resolve all the dependencies between them. And then all the code knows about each other the way it should. That's just a little insight into code generation that's useful. So it's all done indexing. It's ready. It's watching our code for changes. So let me go to this create GPU work notebook again, and we're going to add this field. Let's see. Actually, stop. I made a mistake. So I need to run this command first to define the class. And then we run this command. And let me see here. Did this get updated? For some reason, that didn't work. So I'm just going to put it in like a regular developer. That's what we are. My clever code did not work this time. So I copy this and let's just put this in at the bottom here. I'm going to get rid of some escape characters and we should be good to go. Now, watch at the bottom of the terminal. It takes a few seconds, but it's indexing this new field called temperature in the search engine. So it says GPU touched, and what it did behind the scenes was let's go to, let's open up GPU ENUS Gen API Service Simple, search for temperature, and sure enough, it's there. So now that we've done this, we need to regenerate a few things. So let me go to this other version where we're going to rebuild the OpenAPI spec. So the OpenAPI spec is the Swagger spec, OpenAPI 3. If I search for temperature in here, it's not there. But if I just rebuild this API spec, then it's going to update our database schema, our OpenAPI spec, and a bunch more. Oh, let's see. Oops, something I need to get rid of is this. Oh, let's see. Let's try this again. We're going to regenerate the API spec. Okay, it's done. Now I go here and search for temperature, and there it is. We have a temperature field in our GPU requests, and as well we have db create. We have a temperature field in our spec here, so then let's run our SQL create scripts to create that new field in the database. Oops. Got to get rid of that namespace there and then run this again. Okay, so this is creating all the new fields in the database. And now we're going to do a Maven clean install to rebuild the site. Okay, it's done, and come over here and we're going to kill the site and start it up again. Okay, it's running. Let's go to, okay, let's click on GPUs. There we go. Now we got our GPU, and if I click on this, we now have temperature details and GPU device details